got two methods that we can use to solve rational equations. The first method is using proportions. Okay, so remember, a proportion is a fraction, okay, and it's a fraction equal to another fraction. So you condense it into a proportion. Then when we have a fraction equal to a fraction, what can we do? What's that method? When you have a fraction equal to a fraction, you can cross multiply. Y'all kind of remember doing that? Yes. Cross multiply to solve. So that's the method we're going to focus on. The other method is that we can use an LCD, so we can multiply the whole thing by our least common denominator and then solve the equation. But here's what we have to do. We always have to check our solutions. You always have to check your solutions because sometimes we get an answer that doesn't work. So let's look at that first example right there. We've got 7 over x minus 6 is equal to 4 over x. Well, that's a proportion. We have a fraction equal to another fraction, so all we have to do is cross multiply here. Whoops, that is right. All we have to do is cross multiply. There we go. Cross multiply, and it, where's it going? Where does it keep on going? Okay. There we go. It's working now. Cross multiply, and then we can solve. So 7 times x is equal to 4 times, now this is where you're going to have to be careful. We got to put parentheses around the x minus 6 because we've got to distribute. Okay, so we've got 7x is equal to, distribute that 4. 4x minus 24. This is just a simple linear equation. We should all be able to solve this. Now, we've got x's on both sides. We need x on one side, so we subtract 4x from both sides. 7 minus 4 is 3, so we've got 3x is equal to negative 24. Divide both sides by 3, so x is equal to negative 8. Before I box it in, though, I'm going to plug it back in and make sure that it works. Okay, so I'm going to type in 7 over parentheses, negative 8 minus 6, close my parentheses. I get negative 0.5, and if I plug it into the right side, 4 over negative 8, guess what? It's also negative 0.5. So we're good. Negative 8 is our solution. Okay, so let's do it again. Number 2, fraction equal to a fraction, cross multiply and solve. So 3 parentheses 2a plus 1 is equal to 7 parentheses a minus 8. Distribute the 3, 6a plus 3. Distribute the 7, 7a minus 56. 54. Right. Why do I always mess up 7 times 8? It is 56. Okay. Second guessing myself. All right. So we got variables on the both sides. I'm going to move the 6a because it's smaller. So 7a minus 6a is just a. And then add 56. So we get 59 is equal to a. That seems like an unusually large answer, so I definitely want to check it. 3 over parentheses 59 minus 8. 7 over parentheses 2 times 59 plus 1. I get the exact same decimal for both sides. So it's a big answer, but it is our answer. 59 is the correct answer. Okay, number 3, same thing, cross multiply, but this time we get r times r is equal to 4 times r minus 1. Yep, r times r is r squared. Okay, r times r is r squared. So we haven't had to deal with the squared yet, but that's okay, we can handle it. Distribute the 4, 4r minus 4. What kind of equation is this? It's not a linear equation anymore. It's a quadratic with the squared. We call that a quadratic. So quadratics must always be equal to 0 in order to solve. So we've got to subtract the 4r. We can't combine it, we just move it. And then we add the 4. So we've got r squared minus 4r plus 4 is equal to 0. How do we solve that? Factoring. Okay, r times r gives us r squared. What multiplies to give us 4 and adds to give us 4? Negative 2 and negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 equals positive 4. Negative 2 plus negative 2 is negative 4. So we get r minus 2 is equal to 0. R minus 2 is equal to 0. So we add 2. So we get r equals 2. And r equals 2. So this is that repeated solution thing. This has multiplicity of 2. But let's check it to make sure. Plug in 2. 2 over parentheses 2 minus 1. 4 over 2. Both sides give us 2. So you really only have to write one of them. You don't have to write it twice. Okay, let's do one more like this, and we'll go from there. Okay, cross multiply m plus 3 times m minus 2. Notice both of those have to go in parentheses, is equal to 3 times 8. Now, you can go ahead and write 24 if you want to. I'm just trying to show you where that number came from. Okay? Guess what? We have to multiply out the m plus 3 and the m minus 2. Okay? So m times m is m squared. The outside gives us negative 2m. The inside, well, let me just write it out. Negative 2m. The inside gives us positive 3m. Positive 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. 3 times 8 is 24. So we need to combine the m's, and it's a quadratic, so we need to move the 24. So we've got m squared. Negative 2m plus 3m is positive m. Negative 6 minus 24 is negative 30. Is equal to 0. So we got a factor. M times m is m squared. What multiplies to give us 30 and adds to give us 1? Yes, positive 6, negative 5. Positive 6 times negative 5 equals negative 30. Positive 6 plus negative 5 gives us positive 1. So we've got m plus 6 equals 0. That says negative 6 is one of our solutions. We've got m minus 5 is equal to 0. So that says positive 5 is our other solution. We got 2 solutions to check here, but it's always worth checking. Equations are so easy to check, there's no reason not to do it. Left side, right side, just make sure we get parentheses. We get negative 1 to negative 1. When we plug in 5, we don't get the same thing as the last one, but as long as both sides give us the same thing, then we're good. Okay, and they do. So both of those check out. Negative 6 and positive 5 are our solutions to that equation. Okay, so I want you to start on number 5. I want you to start working. I want you to see if you can get number 5 done by the end of class. Number 5.